dry. It's like a troubled waters, you're saving my life. You got a fire in you. You got a fire in you.
So, hi, how are you?
Thank you very much. I'm very good. Sweaty from the show just now back there.
Yeah.
Put all our gear in the all our gear in the car, and now sitting here like still sweating post-show sweat. But I'm very good, thank you.
And how was it to play at the Orangerie at the Fête de la Musique just now?
It was great. It was the first time playing in Echternach. I love this city. I come here a lot in the weekends, but I've never really performed here. And also the Orangerie, I'd never been there.
Okay.
So for me, it was really walking in, seeing the stage, be like, oh my God, this is a fantastic location. And we had a lot of fun today. It was a nice show, great band, great vibe. It didn't rain. And then there was this thing at some point where these bugs started flying. Everyone in the
That
audience
was
was going
crazy.
crazy. It was June bugs, apparently.
Yeah.
And it started very softly, looked like mosquitoes.
Yeah.
You were there. And then suddenly this swarm started growing, and they were everywhere. And they started coming to the stage because there's hot lights. And I was playing, and Joel, the saxophone player, he stormed off from the back, came towards me and slapped my back because there was, I think, a couple of them sitting on my back. So it was a crazy show, but for some reason, I think it gave everyone a certain energy.
Yeah, true.
Everyone was like, whoa, what's happening? And they were getting up and dancing, and we played great music with that. So it was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool. Okay, and then on May 7th, you released your second EP, Love Don't Come Easy. Do you want to tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah.
And I read that you recorded in Portugal.
That's right.
So how was that?
So I play with Pedro Gonzalez. He's my drummer, and he's Portuguese. And we were on tour one day in Germany, pre-COVID times, 2020, January of 2020. And he was saying, look, he knew that I wanted to record a new EP, and he said, why don't you try Portugal? There's a lot of great producers there, a lot of interesting studios.
Okay.
Maybe it's interesting to check out that scene. And then also by being there, you get to know a lot of musicians and people working in music. So I said, yeah, that's a great idea. And we started looking online, and there's this producer called Nelson Canoa. I loved his work. And he's worked with artists that I really admire, including like Sara Tavares. She's a big world music star. And I contacted him, and I had no idea what he would say, whether it was like a yes or, stop bothering me. And we met on Skype. I played him some of the songs, and he enjoyed it, and he invited me over, and I went there in August of last year.
Okay.
And spent 2 weeks in Portugal. It was a great experience. We recorded the whole thing within 2 weeks.
Wow. Okay.
And it came out in May. So I think it's an EP which is really diverse in terms of sound. I would say that my genre is pop, but I love playing with elements such as folk, soul. I love soul music, bit of funk. There's some jazz harmony in there. It's also very rocky. So I think it's a nice representation of the music I make right now. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And the first video that you released for your EP was Fire in You back in November.
Yeah.
And it's about love and mental health and everything. So do you want to tell me a bit about how you got the idea also for the video? Because it's very interesting, I think.
Yeah. So the song Fire in You, even though it sounds like a love song, there is more of an underlying message about mental health and, having a fire in you can be the fact that you have something inside of you that you're trying to get rid of, that it's pulling you down.
Okay.
And I think mental health is a topic which should be addressed more. There's a lot of mental health issues in the music industry. As artists, we deal with a lot of rejection, a lot of moments where it's not going the way we plan. It's a tough business. So it's nice to put that onto into a song form. But also in normal life, I think this pandemic has not been easy for a lot of people, especially mentally. At the beginning, maybe it was like, oh, this is nice. I can stay home and it's all relaxed. But then it starts taking a toll.
Yeah.
So these are really songs that kind of established themselves during the pandemic.
Okay.
And then for the music video, I worked with a guy called Ben Andrews, who is a really good cinematographer here in Luxembourg. He's actually British, but he lives in Luxembourg. And we wanted to use the steelwork factory in Echternach, which used to belong to ArcelorMittal.
Okay.
But it's now being torn down.
Oh, okay.
But the area is still there, and before it's being torn down, it's still being used as a set.
Okay.
So there's also movies which have been shot there, for example. So we were able to spend a day, and we had Pierre Ajovic and George Michael, two great dancers, and we thought, do we want a fixed choreography, like a planned choreography?
Okay.
Or do we want it to be more free? And I think the fact that it was free has, obviously in the video we've taken, the nicest moments of the free choreography.
Yeah.
But there was a nice contrast between this intimacy in the dance, I think, and the raw industrialness of the steelwork factory. Yes, so that was the video to Fire and You. It was a good experience. Yeah, very fun to make.
Cool.
Well, it was cold that day, but it was fun. Yeah.
Yeah. And are there any plans for more videos or?
Yeah, we actually have a music video coming to Love Don't Come Easy.
Oh, okay,
which was
cool.
supposed to come out, well, obviously when the song came out.
Yeah.
Weeks, almost months ago. I think it came out in April. Or even March, 6 weeks
March,
before the EP. And basically Corona, but also bad weather, because we wanted to be an outdoor video. It's a happy video, and we needed sunshine. And it was, I think April was a bad month. It was very rainy and cloudy. So it's still coming. It's in the making.
Okay.
So that's the next video. And then we're also doing some live sessions.
Oh, okay, cool.
And more to come. I don't know when, but it will come.
Perfect. Yeah. And I saw on your Instagram that you went to Cyprus a few weeks ago. Do you want to tell me a bit about what that's about?
Yeah. So Cyprus, I came across this project that's being organized by a local indie label in Cyprus called Luvana Records. And their initiative was to bring together roughly 14 songwriters from all over Europe and 6 session musicians, so 20 musicians in total, and for them to come to Cyprus and to create an album together. So I was in Cyprus at the beginning of June. I'm getting confused with dates. Beginning of June, and we started writing the songs. We got to know everyone. It's a very interesting group. We've got people from, Luxembourg, Netherlands, France, Germany, Denmark, Estonia, Slovakia, UK. And we all got together. We didn't know each other, and we started writing music. And we're going to go back at the end of July, kind of fine-tune everything. And then in September record the record. But it's more than just a songwriting project. It's also, there is a community being formed there.
Okay.
And it's made me realize how privileged we are being musicians in Luxembourg.
Okay.
Because if you think of concepts such as the funding that's available and the support, it just doesn't exist in a place like Cyprus.
Yeah. Okay.
So we take it for granted here. When we go on tour, we need support to cover the fuel or the accommodation, and something like that just doesn't exist. So it's made me reflect, and it's nice to be there for those people and to bring them also to mainland Europe and show them how the industries are here, and for us to go there and share our experiences. So it's a really nice bonding, and I think we've created a nice group of friends, really. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're making an album.
Yeah. Wow. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. Me too.
And so you have been touring a lot these past years, I guess. Is there any moment or memory or city or gig or something that you like to remember a lot? Like something special that happened or something?
That's a good question. We've played a lot of small bars in Germany where crazy things happen every night. I remember one place. It's a nice memory. We played, and the place was packed. It was near Bremen, and a very nice audience. A little bit reserved, a little bit shy, but very passionate and very 100% there for the music. It's always really nice to see when the audience really comes and is looking forward to the show.
Yeah.
And there was one guy, and he followed us around to different cities where we were playing.
Okay.
So he came to Oldenburg.
Okay.
He came to Hamburg.
Wow.
And I think he came to Flensburg. And from Bremen, that's quite some distances. That's I think he came by train always.
Okay.
And those are distances of a Kiel. He came to Kiel, not Flensburg. So it's all at least train distances of 2-3 hours. So it was really amazing to see such dedicated people. It was really, so that's something that really sticks out. If you're asking for embarrassing things, maybe I would have to think. Maybe in a bit, if we continue talking, there's something that'll be on my mind. There's been stuff happening on stage always, where strings break or there's no more sound and you have to finish the show and you just have to improvise and that always happens.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and my last question is always, if you could organize a dinner party with anyone that you want, no one is off limit, who would you invite and what would you serve? Oh, and as many people as you want. So.
As many people? That's going to become difficult. Okay, I think I will make the question easier. I will just name one person. Because if you let me invite as many people as I want to, I could go on for the whole evening. There's so many people I admire.
Okay.
If there's one person I could invite, it would probably be Sting.
Okay.
I think Sting is an incredibly versatile musician. I love the music he makes. And, he started out with the Police, making some heavy rock, and it transformed into pop, world music flirting with jazz, with blues, folk, and then at some point he does a really folk album, and then he goes back to making an album with the lute, a classical album, and then he goes back to pop. He's, I think, someone also, the age that he's at, so much wisdom.
Yeah.
What would I serve?
Yeah.
So I think he is vegetarian.
Okay.
So am I. So I think that already makes things easier. I think he is a guy who appreciates a nice home-cooked meal.
Okay.
But he has his own wine. I think he has even several wines, so I think I need to serve a proper wine. That's for sure.
Okay.
I need to get the wine sorted, but apart from the wine, I think he is happy with a nice home-cooked meal. I like to cook. One thing I like to cook is, it's called tofu taschen.
Okay.
In German. It's like bags, kind of like, now I'm forgetting the word in English, but it's like those Mexican dough. You know what I mean.
Yeah, I know.
You know
what
exactly
mean.
what I mean.
Yeah,
People watching will know exactly what I mean, apart from now. So, but that's filled with tofu with a lot of nice spices and vegetables.
Okay.
And that's what I think I would serve him. Maybe a nice soup, a nice salad, something exotic. And I think he would be a great, fun person. Amazing. That would be a dream.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool. That's a good question.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Thank you very much for the interview.
And good luck with all your projects.
Thank you very much. Thanks for watching.
Love don't come easy. I'm singing say